How's it going, guys? Alright, here's part 2 of my November video game pickups, and there's quite a few nice surprises. I picked up Hidden Agenda. This is a game that's developed by Supermassive Games. They're the same people that made the excellent Until Dawn. This game is similar to Until Dawn in terms of its narrative and story. Like, it's a similar idea, except with this game, it's taking advantage of a new feature in the PlayStation 4 called PlayLink, where it uses an app on your phone for multiplayer. And I've heard the single player for this is kind of toned down from Until Dawn, but the multiplayer is where this game really shines. All around, I've heard pretty good things about this game, and it looks pretty damn good. So anyway, I can't wait to try it. It looks pretty interesting. Okay, this next one I had a sneaking suspicion might get a physical release through limited run games, and it happened. Next, Makana. I almost got this digitally because this looks so awesome, but I had that sneaky suspicion limited run might do a physical release of this one, and sure enough it happened, so my patience paid off, and I really can't wait to try this one. It looks awesome. Next up is Caveman Warriors. This is a really interesting action platformer which actually has 4-player local co-op, and I admit, I was tempted to back the Kickstarter for this, but there was no physical release offered at the time, so I didn't. But later on, East Asia Soft made a physical release happen, and I gotta say the artwork looks great, and this is actually their, forgive me for saying this, fattest PS4 edition to date. It's wider than all their other editions, and apparently it comes with this really awesome art book, and I can't wait to see it. All around, Caveman Warriors looks like a pretty awesome game, and I can't wait to try it. Alright, next up is Curse Castilla for the Vita. I actually do have this for PlayStation 4, but I admit, I caved and also got this for the Vita because it is that good a game, and this is actually their fattest Vita case. It's actually more fat, or wider than Caveman Warriors, and that was even more surprising because the Vita version comes with an extra art book that's not in the PlayStation 4 version. So I caved and got both editions, and I admit, like I said, this is a great game, so I was willing to get this a second time, and I can't wait to try this on Vita. Alright, this next one, I said I was not going to buy it, but you cannot argue with buy one, get one free. I picked up the orange edition of Rive from East Asia Soft and Play Asia. I do have the blue edition, and the orange edition is actually more rare, but I couldn't justify picking up both at first because I also got the limited run version, so that literally would have been 3 purchases, but it was a buy one, get one free offer, and I took advantage of it. So now I have all 3 PlayStation 4 physical editions, and this one looks pretty awesome. And this is a great game. I highly recommend you guys get this game. Rive is excellent. Alright, last but not least, this is the game Paradise. This is actually an arcade game that was ported to the Sega Saturn all the way back in like 1997. And I do have the Sega Saturn version, but Katawaka Games has actually ported this to PlayStation 4. Yes, ported it. They've actually added some new characters and apparently I think some new stages. All around, when I heard this was happening, it was super exciting. So of course, especially when I found out there was going to be a physical release, I jumped at it, and I can't wait to try this PlayStation 4 version. I don't know yet if this is entirely in Japanese or if there's an English translation or not. There could be an English physical release in the future, but it's hard to say. If there is, I will probably grab that one too. Though granted, this might have English in it, I'm not sure, but I will say this is an important step in gaming because this is a Sega Saturn game ported to a modern console. You don't see that very often, and we need to see more of that because the Sega Saturn has got a lot of hidden gems, and some of them are very expensive. The Game Paradise is not, but still, it's a step in the right direction. And in the near future, I'm going to have another expensive Saturn release that got a PlayStation 4 port, but I'll discuss that when that arrives. But just a little hint for the future. Alright guys, this is part 2 of my November video game pickups. Quite a few interesting surprises in the mail. I will talk to you guys later. This is the Entertainment Wizard, signing off.